Good evening. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Soumya Ramesh, the mother of two Ivy League students. She will be presenting a series of sessions on college admissions. I express my sincere gratitude to Mrs. Soumya Ramesh for helping us. Thank you. Soumya, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Priya, and hello, parents. As Priya introduced, my name is Soumya Ramesh. I have two college-going boys. My older son is a sophomore at UPenn, and my younger one is a freshman at Harvard. Um, I will talk about what we as parents have to know about high school years and then the process of college application. I'm going to break the sessions into two at this point. This week, I will cover our high school experiences with our boys, about high school resources and summer programs that our boys did. Before starting, I would also like to put a disclaimer. I'm not a professional college counselor or consultant. My sessions do not guarantee that if your child follows all that I share, they will be admitted to a top tier college. This is only information for your children and you from our experience. During the application process, our family had collected information from college websites, books, internet, and YouTube videos. Hopefully, this session inspires your family. This information is not guaranteed to be up to date also because there are always changes in high school policies, testing, and application process yearly. So it is your responsibility to research the latest high school resources and college application process. If you plan your children's 4 years of high school very well, you will see that your child is happy and will come out of flying colors. Keep in mind, they should have a good experience in high school that they will cherish. It's just not about academics, but also building their character, their profile, finding who they are, becoming stronger as person and making memories. I hope you guys get a good information session from whatever I'm going to talk. So entering high school. High school is the most wonderful time for teenagers. They will face new teachers, new staff, new classroom setups, new friends, new subjects. Their sleep pattern changes. They are changing in every way, physically, mentally, and emotionally. They are becoming an individual and figuring to build an identity of their own in the society. The summer after 8th grade, right before school starts, we started talking to our boys about their goal for the next 4 years of high school. We asked them questions like, where do they see them going in 4 years? Do they know what they want to study in college? What colleges do they want to visit? Are they looking into Ivy schools or top tier schools, or they just want to settle in for tier 2 and tier 3 colleges? Do they want to go to large schools such as universities or small liberal arts colleges? Like, do they want to attend a public school or a private school? You will think this is too much discussion with a 8th grader, but no, this is the time to start. These are things that they and you should start discussing and researching online. This will help your child to build a profile. High school is all about building a profile for the college application process. So these questions should be considered right before they start high school. Let them make a list of things they want to achieve in high school. As a parent, you would have observed what your child has been good at during middle school. So give them ideas of what is out there in the high school for resources, which will align with their interest. To have an idea of what they want is helpful in determining how they want to build their profile in high school. Please go through the school provided handbook in detail. It will give you all info about the kids' teachers to graduation requirements to GPA, everything. And this is very important as a parent to go through because many times we skip that. I would really suggest it. I used to go through the handbook every year. Another thing that is very important is the school course selection guide. In 8th grade, the counselors will get together with the kids and the parents and talk about the school course selection guide. Please go through that. It will be on the school website. It will give you an idea of the different courses they will take in high school, like the CP, honors, AP, early college experience courses, everything. Let your child create a spreadsheet for 4 years. Our children had created a spreadsheet, and they started entering the courses that they would like to take throughout high school. And trust me, it will change many times, but they should have a proper spreadsheet at the beginning of 9th grade. When it changes, we as parents have to understand their strategies and reasoning for the change, because they are doing it after thinking about the courses that they want to take. Please stick with your child's plans as to what they want to do in high school. We parents always have the tendency to discuss with each other the kids' coursework and extracurriculars. It is always good to discuss and collect the information, but remember, every child's interest and ability is very different. We should not be imposing or comparing. I had 2 boys who are only 1 year apart, and both of them were very different from each other. Their interests were very different. So you can imagine when it is 2 different kids from 2 different families. Their goal is to make themselves better, stronger, and stand out in the crowd by doing things that they are interested and passionate about, and that comes naturally to them. I think that word passion and interest was also emphasized by Mrs. Kameshwari last time. It is very, very important. That way they build a better profile. Start documenting all their activities in a Word document and what they achieved in every grade. This is very important because when it comes to college application, you have to enter all the activities, even the number of hours, the year and date that they performed all those. So please start documenting from 9th grade, everything, all their extracurricular activities, volunteering services, community services, everything documented. We were a little late that way. We realized it only when my older son came into the end of 10th grade. Then we suddenly started documenting everything. Also keep videos and pictures of all the activities that they participate. Even if you cannot make it, just remind your child, take a picture and keep it, take a video, so that these will come in handy when you are preparing a portfolio. Some of the colleges, the top tier ones, ask for makeup portfolios, music portfolio, and at that time, this will come handy and you can submit them. Another thing very important is a proper Gmail account for your child, because all the college materials need an email address. The college is going to contact your child's email for any decisions, all those things. So make sure that they have a proper Gmail. I read somewhere, actually I heard from an admission officer once. She is actually an author of a book called Valedictorian at the Gate. So she was saying that they were comparing between 2 kids in Dartmouth, and when they had to send emails for more materials from the students, they saw that one had a very weird email and the other one had a proper email. So it made them think, oh, is this kid really genuine? So tell your kids to make a proper email ID, nothing crazy like, lazyme@gmail.com or anything like that. Let it be, with their name and maybe some number or something like that. Now, time management and tracking progress. So high school requires good time management skills. Kids are in school, as you know, for 8 hours. They sleep for 8 hours, and they only have 8 hours to squeeze in their homework, study time, extracurriculars, sports, work, etc. So we always, I used to wonder sometimes how some kids are able to handle, school, clubs, and outside extracurriculars, everything. We realize that prioritization is a big factor. Many times kids do not prioritize which task needs to be completed first, and then they start procrastinating. There will always be clashes between extracurriculars, clubs, and schoolwork. Many times they procrastinate without even realizing. This is where you as a parent should step in to help. As you know, every kid has a phone now, so please talk to them about their screen time. Instead of telling them what to do, ask them to reflect on their screen time and let them promise you the hours of screen time that they are going to use. There are also some parents who will add allowed screen time in the kids' phones. Do that with a mutual understanding between you and the kid. That way, the kid will feel included in the decision. Homework and study time. It's a big shock. Most of you are parents of high schoolers. The first quarter of high school for parents and child, suddenly you will see them struggling with time, and they will keep complaining they have too much homework. And this happens every quarter, every first quarter of high school. I've seen that because when they come back from the summer, they are not yet in that mode of academic rigor. So make sure that they do something worthwhile in the summer. And let me tell you, middle school does not prepare them for this rigor. Suddenly in high school, they have a lot of homework, a lot of classwork. They do more extracurricular activities. They are part of clubs in school. They might do a sport. So work with your child on a schedule for homework and study time every day and weekend. My kids always had a timetable. When they come home, they try to follow the timetable as much as possible. So I would suggest that. An example I will give you, AP US history. My younger son struggled with it the first quarter. The teacher would give 1 week to complete the homework package. So that package needs at least 5 to 6 hours to complete, and because it has a lot of reading and comprehension questions. Sitting, the previous night and trying to complete is not going to work. This will hurt them because there might be a club or another test that they have to study on the same day, and then the homework will be due, and it will not, they won't be able to complete it. So you as a parent can step in and help them. Your child you can discuss with them. You can give a suggestion that dedicate 1 hour every day for 5 days. That's what my son finally did to complete his homework. For some kids, alarm system will work to make them become faster with homework. So if you put an alarm for 1 hour and say, hey, you're going to do this APUSH for 1 hour, if every day they are doing that, they will become faster and faster. And this is from my own experience, I'm telling you. Then there is also some kids like company. The kids cannot have always combined study with their friends. So parent can be a friend at that time. You can just sit beside them. If they have anything to say while they're doing their homework, you can listen to them. If they want feedback, you can give. I don't think it is spoon feeding. It is only supporting our children. And this will give them an assurance to them that they're doing it all right. So encourage them also to keep their phone a little aside when they're doing all these homeworks, because you don't want the phone keeping on buzzing. And that's a distraction. So these are things that I always made sure that my kids followed. And yes, I did keep an eye on these things. I would discuss with them. I will talk to them. So I'm just sharing what I did. Then there is PowerSchool and Google Classroom. As a parent, I have always kept track of their grades in PowerSchool. My kids had goals when right before they started 9th grade, when they saw what are the different resources in high school. They also had a goal to earn a very good GPA. They had a goal to be in the top 10 of their graduating class. And it was their goal. They said, okay, let us keep it as top 10, and then we will see as years go by. I'm not saying that as a parent, you should monitor every day, every minute. But twice a week is a good practice to make sure your child is submitting their homework and classwork on time. If you see their grades are dipping, that means it is time to have a talk and find out the reason. So at least once a week, please look into their, look into the PowerSchool and make sure that your child is on track. Also, Google Classroom. In our household, it was strictly only kids logged in. We as parents never logged in because we wanted them to have the responsibility of keeping track of their academic and school related activities. we felt that it will be intruding and not trusting them if we start to log into their Google Classrooms, and it doesn't look good. They are becoming adults, so let them give the chance. We as a family also agreed that the kids should be truthful about their homework submission and quiz and test dates, club events, and other school related activities. If they forgot something, they would come and tell me, we forgot, and then we will find a way to, maybe put their name in or submit the homework or something like that. So this is where academic integrity also comes. Please have a serious conversation with your children. They should be honest and understanding that they have a high school responsibility. Being a high schooler, there is also a responsibility of being honest. Copying, sharing academic work, submitting another person's work, using language translators, internet plagiarism, all are violations of academic integrity. Encourage your child to do their best. It is okay to have a bad grade. My kids also have gotten bad grade. They have not submitted homeworks many times, but they will bounce back the next time and do the right thing. Sometimes there will be consequences, so they will, the grade will fall and they will become more responsible, and that is okay. If they are continuously getting bad grades, then there is some reasons. You should have a talk with your child and maybe also talk with the teacher at school. What else? Also, if the school catches your child doing any kind of, these kind of academic cheating, let me tell you, there will be failing grades. They will be kicked out of National Honor Society, in-school suspension, dismissal if it is continuous practice. So I am not scaring you here, but please ask your children to be honest. This will also affect many of their awards, recognition, and recommendation letters in the future when the college application process starts. And also attendance is very, very important. It's an important part of learning. So encourage your children to go to class regularly. Many times kids tend to go late. They skip classes due to lack of sleep. They are teenagers and, their body is changing. So as parents, we have to make sure that, they are doing all the right things. So I encourage you to do that. Then we have understanding our town school system and resources offered. So some of the things that I'll talk here is what we experienced through the high school that our kids went. I know there are parents who are having children in other school districts and other states here. So please, try to collect information from your school about these things. So counseling. Every school has a counseling department, and your child will be assigned a counselor for 4 years throughout high school. They will organize events for parents to educate us on various topics related to the students. I would suggest at least one parent should take the time to attend and also take notes, because if the other parent cannot make it, it will be nice to show the notes and discuss. When you discuss, please discuss it with your spouse and children so that you're all on the same page. Create a rapport with your child's counselor. This is something you might be hearing from other sources also. Yes, we did create a rapport with our counselors. My kids had 3 different counselors in high school because the first one came, she retired. The second one came, he also retired, and then we had the third one in around middle of 10th grade. So we made it a point as a family to go and meet and talk to them every fall after the school started. So kids would discuss their goals for the year to them. As parents, we would talk to them about how we can support our boys to achieve their goal for the year and how the school is willing to support them. So this is usually a 20 minutes meeting. So every fall for both our children, we would go the children would come with their laptop, because they will have a spreadsheet of what courses they are taking, what extracurriculars they are doing. They will let the counselor know that these are the things that they are doing that particular year. they also did summer programs. So we would give a heads up to the counselor that there are some applications coming up for them to, help us out with. So that 20-minute meeting was mainly this. Um, this helped not only us, but the counselor also to, understand our boys and us as a family. And let me tell you, these counselors are very receptive. Never shy away from, encourage your child to go and talk to their counselors whenever necessary. My boys always, went, they would take an appointment, they will go and talk to the counselor, and then they would come home and discuss with me and my husband. If I had more doubts, I would call the counselor the next day and talk to her and make sure that everything is going good. This is not only with academics. We also, if we had any other issues, even for that, we used to contact the counselor. They play a very important part in your child's college application, so you should have a rapport with them. They will be sending school report, transcripts, and recommendation letters to colleges. If your child is applying to colleges that have alumni interviews, they will even help you with a mock interview session. So if you need something like that for your child, please go and ask. They will not come to you because they are dealing with, it's in a public school system, they deal with 300, 400 kids. So if we need something, we have to go to them. And if we ask and if they can put it into their schedule, they'll surely help us, help you out. So that's where the counselors are very important. Then you have the teachers. So attend parent night every year. As parents, go to the high school website, go to the respective department and familiarize your child's teacher's name and face for that year. I always used to do that. And then I would attend the parent-teacher meeting. I'll go and introduce myself to the teacher and just have some conversation. I know the teacher is not going to remember, but when my child talks to me about the class and the teacher, I know exactly whom he's talking about. So that's very important. We should also know, what our child is talking, right? So your child making a connection with the teacher is also very important. Rapport with the counselor, rapport with the teacher is also very important. How do they make a rapport with the teacher? Just by talking to them, encourage them, ask them who his favorite teacher is, what was the conversation he or she had with the teacher that day, and listen to them. If the child is struggling with any of the coursework, please talk to the teacher. And if the teacher says, okay, he's struggling with the AP class, why don't you pull him down to an honor class, like, drop to an honor class. Listen to them because they know what they are talking. They have experience. Even that has happened to us once. So they have emails, phone. Please do not shy away from talking to the teachers. And also the teachers, another thing, the rapport is important because you need 2 recommendation letters from the teachers of the school that your child is going. Usually it is one from a math and science teacher and one from an English humanities teacher. But certain schools are okay with, having both of it from the science teacher or both of it from the English or humanities teacher. But I know all the IVs, all the tier 1 colleges, all the engineering honors programs, they all require one math science and one English or social science teacher. So and there are sometimes people say, oh, you should take it from 11th grade teacher, they will know your child better. I don't believe that because my younger son, he took his English humanity, that the English teacher that he took taught him in 9th and 10th grade. So he took it from him, and then he took it from his computer science teacher. My older son took it from his government teacher, who was the 11th grade teacher, who was teaching AP government, and from his math teacher, because he was going into econ major. So that's what my kids did. Also prepare a resume of your child. So I will come to that when we talk about Navians. But before that, just prepare a resume and send it to the teachers right before 11th grade ends, because you give them some time during the summer to write the recommendation letter, and giving them a resume and a brag sheet is very helpful, because they will know what your child has accomplished, because on a day-to-day basis they are not going to know every child's accomplishment, but when you give details, they can put it into the recommendation letter. Always remember, the colleges are looking into your child's personality through the eyes of the teachers. So give a detailed description for them. Also, our counselor always used to say, you know, when you're writing the brag sheet, this is the time to brag. Just go ahead and put all your accomplishments and awards and honors, so that the counselor and the teacher can give a very good recommendation letter. Then you have curriculum specialists. We don't deal with them much, but just to have an idea who they are like the head of the department. They decide the curriculum for the academic year. We have interacted with curriculum specialists for both our kids, because with my older son, when he came into high school, in middle school, they only had Algebra 1 at that time. So when he came into high school, he wanted to do both geometry and Algebra 2 in 9th grade. So we had to see a curriculum specialist and take permission, and then only he was able to get it into his course selection. Likewise, our younger son, he was able to take AP, CSP. Our school system doesn't give AP in the 9th grade, but we went and talked to the curriculum specialist, and they were able to help our kids with those things. Sometimes they would say no. If they say no, then better not to push it, because they know what they are doing. So that is curriculum specialist. Then you have, school social media and emails. I will really suggest all parents to go and sign up for, the school news, social media pages, the Insta, Twitter, everything, because a lot of information nowadays comes through that. It's better to be informed what is happening in school. I used to read the school news every day, so that I know what is happening. They announce sports, fundraising activities, music events, club events, recognitions earned by students, everything in the school news. When my kids used to come back from school, this was a regular discussion in our house. What was today's news at school? I would say, hey, I heard that so and so attended, or got awarded something. And sometimes they will give a soft reaction. Sometimes they would say, hey, we didn't hear it, because they might have been in the classroom, and the classroom would have been a chaos during that morning news time. So it might be from me that they are hearing. So they always found it helpful, because they would have a common topic to talk about on that school day with me. So something that to keep in mind for parents. Also, this would also lead to, as we talk about the school day, they would also let us know about classrooms, their homeworks, quiz. So we as parents will have an idea, oh, tomorrow he has such and such quiz. Tomorrow he has such and such test. So keep track of all these things. It is a good thing to do. Please do keep track. Also, we used to do Google Calendar extensively. All the four of us used to put the events and everything, important dates at school, and shared with each other, so that we are all in the same page with dates and times when the events are happening and things like that. Then you have Navians. So this is a platform for planning your 9th through 12th grade. All students have the opportunity to utilize Navians. They have an account. Teachers also have Navians account. Counselors also can log in, and we parents can also log in and see our child's profile. School doesn't impose on updating the Navians in 9th and 10th grade. Suddenly they will start telling the kids to, in 11th grade to update, because that's when, slowly the college application process comes into mind. But I will suggest, encourage your children to use Navians and let them put whatever accomplishments that they are having in 9th, 10th, update it every 6 months. That's a good idea. That's what my kids did. So parents also are encouraged to create Naviance accounts so that you can go log in and see what your children have put. If they have forgotten something, you can let them know, hey, you didn't put this. So that is something that is important. Now, then we have GPAs. Let me tell you, GPAs are the foundation for building your high school profile and college application. GPAs are very important. It is not everything in a college application, but it has a very good weightage when colleges are selecting your child. The school will provide info regarding GPA in the handbook. Please read them carefully and understand the calculations. My children, as I said in the beginning, had a goal of making it to the top 10 of their graduating class. So they knew how it was calculated, and they had a spreadsheet with all their courses and their grades, and they would always calculate at the end of the year where they stand. Then also the school sends transcript to colleges, which will include the 9th, 10th, and 11th grade final grades. And then the first quarter of the 12th grade during college application submission. So make sure that, your kids, sometimes after 9th, 10th, and 11th, in 12th grade, they're so busy with their application. The first quarter, sometimes they tend to fall back on their grades. They cannot do that. Please keep encouraging them to do their classwork, homework. Sometimes senioritis starts to hit as soon as the submissions are over. Just make sure that, if they were getting an A minus in the class, at least a B plus should be there. Failing grades are going to look bad when the school sends the final transcript after their 12th grade. I have even heard that if it is really bad, there will be consequences from the college. Even if you have, given the deposit, you're being admitted, they can say, okay, we are taking it back. So just, keep all these things in mind. I'm not trying to scare, but be cautious. Then how are good GPA students awarded? Colleges receive a school report from the counselor with all the details of what the school offers, like AP, ECE, honors, CP, all those will be there. They also will submit in the school report, the number of students graduating, the GPA ballparks, testing, clubs and extracurriculars offered in the school. So this, the first thing the admission officer is going to look is, where do your kids stand among the other students in the school? Then they go on to look at the, the region and national level. They'll compare the kids in the regional and national level. And you can always ask the counselor for a copy of the school report also. I think at least, South Windsor High School, they do have the school report on the website. I don't know whether it has been updated, but it will also help you to understand what they are saying. And if there is something that they are not saying in the school report, your child can add in the college application, there is an additional information section where they can add that the school did not provide this, but I was able to take this, and, show that he put more rigor in his profile. Most of the schools now are getting rid of ranking system, but some schools still announce the top 10, and that includes the valedictorian and salutatorian. Students in honor roll and senior honor roll for all 4 years receive school awards during invitational senior award night and scholarship night. I'm saying all this because these are the ways, good GPA students get awarded. Then there is something called book award, which is given at the end of 11th grade. So the school participates in book awards set up by the alumni of certain colleges. This is determined during the end of junior year. These book awards are not scholarships. It's a recognition that is given to your child for being an outstanding student who is academically excellent, exhibits exceptional personality, makes a significant contribution to the community. So there are different kinds. There will be a book award that will be STEM related. There'll be book award that is humanities related. Our school does Harvard Book Award and Yale Book Award for highest GPA kids by the end of 11th grade. I know there are others also, like Columbia Book Award. Most of the Ivies do it, but our school had these two, along with Rensselaer and Rochester Institute of Technology and some other colleges. So, and these book awards, since it is given at the end of 11th grade, you can actually put this in the honors section of the college admission, college application. So that is one way the kid gets rewarded for having a good GPA. How important are these? It gives you a child, it just gives your child a feeling of accomplishment, and as parents, you're happy about it. And as I said, in the award, the honor section, you can add into the Common App. Then there is courses in high school. So if you see the PowerPoint, I have just listed all the courses that my children took in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, just to give you an idea. So they took AP, they took honors and CP classes at high school. Outside of high school, my older son did 3 APs. He self-studied on his own. And both of them also did math coursework, that is undergraduate, undergraduate credit courses for math through the Harvard Extension School. So the school provides textbooks for all these, whatever courses they are providing, like the AP, honors, and CP class kids, they get textbooks. And these textbooks are pretty good. If you're, especially for AP, classes, children should go through the textbook. They have a very good content. Some teachers give them notes. If not, please encourage your child to take notes. That way it will be very helpful. My children used to use Khan Academy and Princeton Review books and flashcards for preparation. We always used to encourage them to start doing Khan Academy prep for AP courses during the summer holidays, so that they are not overwhelmed during the academic year. So if you see the PowerPoint, my older son took AP Human Geography in his 9th grade, which he self-studied. He was a Geography B enthusiast, so he thought that it will be easy for him to take such a AP. So he took that, and the year after he took AP World History. So he also loves to learn history, so he used to participate in History Day and things like that. So he took that in 10th grade, and then in 11th grade he took AP Comparative Government and Politics. So he was already taking AP Government. So AP Comparative Government and Politics is not a very tough subject. If you take AP Government, you can put a little bit more of effort, self-study, and take the exam. So he took all those APs. My younger one did not take any APs other than from the school. But then in 12th grade, my older son did not have a math in his curriculum, because he had completed his calculus BC, and they did not have multivariable calculus in their school at that time. So he took multivariable calculus and linear algebra in the fall and spring through the Harvard Extension School. It's a full 4-credit class, and they gave him credit for it for the when he went into the college that he is now. They let him place out of the basic math, basic multivariable and linear algebra class, and now he was able to take the next level. Likewise, the younger one also did the same thing. He took, since he is a computer science major, he decided to take discrete math for CS in 11th grade. If you see, in 11th grade, he even had a study hall. One period, he didn't have anything. So that was the time he said, okay, let me take something other than, he didn't want to take just like that any AP, like AP Psych. he didn't want to take that. So he had that study hall open. So he took this class from the Harvard Extension School in spring. In fall he didn't, but in spring he did. And then in 12th grade, our school offered multivariable calculus. So he took the linear algebra from the Harvard Extension School. So this is there. So if you see, if the school is offering anything between 15 to 16 APs, how many is a correct number to take? I would suggest at least 11 to 13. If your child is a very high achieving, high goal kid. If not, you can lower it. Depends on how much load the kid can take. There is no point in taking 10 to 13 APs if the kid is struggling, because his GPA is going to fall. You want to keep his GPA in a good condition. So choose carefully what, according to their interest. You don't have to take all the APs offered in the high school. You have to show rigor, but you don't have to, for that, go and hit your head. So take whatever your child wants. Let them decide on that. If they are going into STEM, let them choose STEM related APs and ECEs. ECE means early college education. So UConn offers courses in our high school, and they give credit for that. And these ECE courses have similar weightage as an AP. And they are pretty good. They don't have an AP exam. They'll just have a final exam like any other class in the and the grades will actually go into the UConn system. So likewise, I'm sure in every other state, many public schools will have a tie-up with the local public college, and kids will be able to take those kind of courses. You should always encourage them. That also shows rigor if they can take it. What is a good score for AP? So 5 and 4 are, 5 is the best, 4 is the good score, and 3 is pass. For college application, when you are submitting, I would suggest submit only 5s and 4s. Anything less than that doesn't look good. Do APs have credit in college? Will it reduce the cost? Most colleges require that you earn certain number of credits, that is usually 120 before you graduate. Colleges will offer you credit by placing you out to the next level course, but you will still need 120 credits to graduate. So this is true in Ivies and tier 1 private and public colleges. This might help the child to actually complete bachelor's and then a master's also in 4 years, because he will start with a higher level course and then end with a graduate level course. Then there are some state schools and some private schools that might accept the score. So suppose you earn a 4 or a 5 on an AP biology exam. They might grant your kid 8 credits for that score. They will earn the credits and will be able to skip the course and complete graduation sooner. Of course, that is going to lower the cost of college. All depends on that particular college, and also the student have to work with the college advisor and department for the approval. Another benefit is it frees up space in your schedule. So some kids would like to pursue a double major, or they want to do a minor in 4 years. So these AP credits will help with that. Every college is different. It depends on their policy and what they offer. If you go into the college website, there is a tab where they will talk about how they take the AP and ECE credits. So please look into those. What are ECEs? As I said, it's early college education experience. If your child receives a good GPA in the subject, if they are going to that particular state school, it is already in the system, and working with the advisor, they will be able to get credit for that. Will it be useful in other colleges? Again, it depends on the college policy. Let's say, South Windsor kids get ECE credits from UConn, but if they are going to Georgia Tech, will they get it? Depends on once the kid gets the admission, and he can always go and talk with the bursar's office, take opinion from the advisor, and that's how it works. Then I'll come to capstone. So some schools do capstone projects, some schools don't. So our school did a capstone project. It was a requirement to graduate. So some of the topics that I have seen kids presenting. So if you go and search the school website, there will be a spot where they talk about capstone. Every year, they also select certain kids who have done a good job with their project and ask them, do you want to put up a presentation for us so that we can show that to the next year students. So if you go and search the school website, at least South Windsor High School, you might be able to find those. You can get an idea. Usually it is, topics like shadowing doctors, dentists, how, what are your future plans, experience working in a small business, community service that made a difference, starting a non-profit. Both my kids, their capstone project was publishing a book. So, whatever you take, and then there will be a panel of teachers who are like judges. They will listen to your presentation, they will give feedback, they will ask questions. So that's how that works. It was a very good experience for them. Now let's move on to school clubs, leadership, extracurricular activities, and community service. So let me just move to that. People would ask, how many clubs or extracurricular activities should one participate in? There is no right answer to it. They can start with 2 or 3 clubs in school. If they already had an extracurricular activity since middle school, let's say your child is a piano player, they can continue if they want. If they are a violinist, they can continue. If the child plays a sport, he was in the soccer team in middle school and he wants to continue in high school, they should go ahead and do it. Also, along with all this, start planning a community service volunteering also, where they will discover themselves. As high school years go by, your child might end up doing a lot more than what you think. Sometimes they might also have to cut down on certain things because whatever it is, the courses, the GPA is very important, course load is very important. So they will also have to take, SAT, ACT test, they'll have to prepare for that. So it's up to them what they want to do. 2 to 3 clubs, in my opinion, is a good start. Every school has a certain number of clubs. They have provided all the list in their school websites. You can always go and look at it. So when my kids, before they started 9th grade, they went and checked the school website and decided what all they wanted to do as club activities. So they started talking to even seniors who were part of that club to get an idea. They also researched if these clubs had state and national level chapters, competitions, recognitions, etc. Because college application, there is an activity page where you can list up to 10 activities, and most of the kids will fill up the 10 activities. So they have to decide as they get into 9th grade which club they want to join, and how much will the club provide you with, or how much resources they're going to provide. So finally, my boys decided 2 to 3 clubs which aligned with their interest. That is also important. It has to align with their interest. Otherwise, they're going to get bored. They attended all the meeting at the beginning of the school year. Everything will be put on Google Classroom. They can go and, go into that particular classroom and enroll themselves. The school also organizes a walkthrough for parents during parent night. Goal is not to try different clubs each year, but to choose the clubs according to the kids' interest and stick with it for 4 years. You as a parent know your child's strength and weakness, so you can discuss with them by giving them pointers. So some clubs usually do not do much, but still stick with it and see how your child can make a difference. It also depends on how much the kid gets involved. I'll give you an example. My older son, he joined the Future Business Leaders of Association in school, and the club was not in a good shape when he joined. There were there were only 4 to 5 kids coming for meetings. I even asked him, why are you wasting your time? But he told me, you wait and watch. I'm learning about it. I will turn it around the next year. He worked very hard with the teacher in 9th grade, and he also started to become friends with FBLA other chapters. He worked with the members in the club, the existing members in the club. They did fundraising, and these kids would go on parent night and convince incoming students and parents to get involved in this club. So slowly he started to get involved more and more in the state level. So in 10th grade, he volunteered to conduct workshops during the conferences. And then he also invited some people from the industry to come and talk in their conferences. By 11th grade, he was treasurer. He had a leadership of treasurer for the state FBLA. And by 12th grade, he was the president of FBLA. So if you see, it's a progression from 9th grade onwards, 12th grade where he reached. Also, FBLA has a lot of these national conferences and national level competitions. He also started to earn a lot of recognitions there. So all these helped when he was putting his college application together to add into his activity session, his honors and award session. Just an example. Then colleges also look at leadership. So leadership is usually through clubs and extracurriculars. What do colleges consider as leadership experience? Colleges are not only educating the students, but creating future leaders in various fields. Those who have displayed leadership qualities in high school are showcasing exactly what the colleges are looking for. So there is a section in college application that will ask about your leadership experience. There might also be supplemental essays for different colleges where they will ask you about how you displayed your leadership. Some of the examples that you can show as a leadership is, of course, leadership in a school club, getting into honor societies, Eagle Scouts, sports team captain, starting a new club or a non-profit organization, organize event to raise funds, teaming with food shelters, collecting used books, even being part of the teen center, tutoring and mentoring younger kids. So all these are some of the examples that your child can show as a leadership quality. One example I would give is we did not have an economics club in our high school. My older son was planning to study economics in college. So he had taken a course through the Harvard Secondary School during the summer of a full micro and macroeconomics. When he went there, he came to know that there is a Harvard Pre-College Economics Challenge. He collected information about all that. He created a proposal. When the school started in 11th grade, he approached his econ teacher and told him that he would like to start a team to go and compete. So the teacher encouraged him to start a club in school. So they started a club because there were other kids who were also interested in competing. So they did that. To get a new club, to start a new club in school. So this is the process. Basically, you need a teacher to sign off. You need some kids who are interested. All their names will be listed. Then you fill a form with your proposal idea and take it to the principal and get the approval. So that is something that kids can do. And that is something that he did. So, and that showed his leadership quality. Something that he also mentioned in one of his essays. Then there are extracurricular activities outside of school. Let me tell you, all these extracurricular activities should be quality and not quantity. If your child is passionate, then they can go ahead with the extracurricular activity outside of school also. Something that actually both my kids did. They both were learning piano for 10 years. When they came into high school, I asked them, do you want to continue? Or because they were doing very well. And they said, yes, we are going to continue it because we like that time when we are sitting and just practicing our piano. It's like a stress buster. And they were also taking exams through the Royal Conservatory of Music. They were performing and auditioning for all sorts of things. So they both wanted to continue. So they continued. But if they are continuing something like that, then there should be a progress. There is no point in wasting time if they are not having any progress. So that is something because that time can be used for something else that they are interested in. So just keep that in mind. Then you have volunteering and community service and nonprofit. What is why is community service important in a college application process? So it is very important for this generation to understand that they should always have a heart to give back to the community because they are benefiting from the community. So find something that your child truly cares about to bring positive changes to your community, which can bring a large change to the society. Colleges are going to look at how you were involved in your community, meaningful involvement. There will be community service opportunities as part of school club, but they also want to see how self-motivated you are. So this is because colleges want their students to be involved in civic activities on campus also. These were things that I didn't know. I came to know when I started reading about these. I used to wonder why so much emphasis, but when I understood it, I thought that this was something that they should surely do. Choosing a service can be something related to the field of work that the kid plans to do in the future. If they are looking to go into med school, let them volunteer in hospitals, let them organize blood drive camps. They can shadow doctors, volunteer in old age homes. If they are going into a non-STEM path, they can look into historical societies, museums, and libraries where they can help with restoration activities. I've heard kids saying, "Oh, I went to my native place for vacation. We donated clothes, toys, books, orphanage." This is not communities. This is not community service. This is your goodness of giving to the needy. So putting that in your college application will not look good. Instead, if your child is going to spend 5 to 6 weeks every summer in the native place, doing something meaningful, like, teaching poor children or helping with some project that is happening, that will have a better consideration by the admission officer than just donating something. And also, if you see with the admission officers, they're more concerned about how your child's activity in the community is changing the community rather than volunteering internationally. So keep that in mind before, approaching organizations that will tell you, "Oh, we will help you get your volunteering hours, community service hours." You don't need that. Your community itself has a lot of activities through which your child can have service hours. My children did Interact Club. Through that, they had a lot of services. Some of the clubs that they were part of had fundraising. There they got some. My older son, he did a summer program for 7 weeks in Harvard. They had a connection with a shelter home, which had Haitian refugees. So those people only talk French, and my son would talk French very well. So he will go there and teach their kids English, help them with their, food and other activities that they have to do. So 7 weeks, every other day, he would take the train and he would go and do this with them. Another example is my younger one. He started to teach Python. It was COVID time, so he was at home. He had extra time. He started to teach Python, and whatever proceeds came through from his students, he started to donate it to shelter homes, food share, all those. So those are some of the things that they did. They never started a nonprofit organization because they had too many things in their plate, and we didn't want them to add one more thing, because nonprofit will take up a lot of time. So it looks impressive on the college application, but make sure that it genuinely makes a difference in the society. Admission officers can easily figure out whether that nonprofit is a genuine one or it is just, a window dressing kind of operation. If your child is interested in starting something like that, make sure that it's done properly. I do not know much information of how to start a nonprofit or how to run it. I'm sorry about that. I don't know much about it. So I can't talk much about it. So I just wanted to show some of the activities that my older son did. These were some of them that they both did, a couple of clubs in school. They were part of the math team at school. The Interact Club helped them to get service hours. Economics Club, the older one started his own. They were part of National Honor Society, Social Science, that is Rokapa Society, French Honor Society, and with sports. So coming to sports, sometimes, we wonder, does being in a varsity team help to get into college? So the question you need to ask is, ask your child if they're going to play sports in college. If yes, then take the sports really seriously. Along with sports, academically also your child has to maintain certain GPA and test scores. Athletic recognitions and state selections and participate in athletic conferences are very important. Another way to look at it is, if your child says, no, I want to play, let him, because it's a good way to have a physical activity. Sometimes it's also stress buster for the kid. If they have the time, then they should surely play a game in high school. Is it going to be helpful to get into college? As much as I know, anything other than playing for the college, it's only for health benefit. That's how I look at it. If you are pushing them to check another box, there is no point in doing that, because the child can do something worthwhile that he's really interested or passionate about. So I would suggest that. So this is my younger son's 4 years of what he was doing. He did a lot of tutoring. He used to play piano. He was a robotics and CS club. He did math team. He also did chemistry Olympiad. He had to self-study. The teacher did help him enroll, but all the studying had to be done by himself. There are a lot of materials out there for chemistry Olympiad on the chemistry Olympiad website, where you can go and check on it. And the last one I would like to talk about is the summer programs that they did. So for summer, so how to utilize your summer, and what are the different kinds of summer programs? So usually summers during high school, please make sure that the kid is not whiling away time. This is when they can do things that they are passionate about, improve their existing skills for which they don't get time during the school year. It can be anything ranging from improving their artistic skills, such as drawing, poetry, musical instruments, taking a class in a nearby college, working, mentoring, blogging, research projects with professors, preparing for Olympiads, taking college level courses, attending summer programs. At least for my kids, attending summer programs offered them a big, a knowledge pot, which helped them to show progress in different avenues of what they were interested in. So what all did my children do? So summer programs allow your child to explore fields of interest, which can lead to research projects, passion projects, startups, etc. So these some summer programs are offered by colleges. They are usually 3 to 7 week program, where your child will live in the campus with students who are coming from all over the world. And let me tell you, their application process is very much like a college application process. So it's like a precursor to college application process. Some of them cost money. Some of them are free. I have actually listed in the PowerPoint, if you see, some of the summer programs that we came to know. So my older son, he did the Harvard Secondary School after 10th grade. So that is a application process where you have to have recommendation letters, you have to have test scores. He had to submit his PSAT. So, and Most of these also require to be a child to be age 16, but there are some, like, John Hopkins gifted and talented programs that your child can start even from, I think, second or third grade, or maybe earlier. So they also have done that. So these summer programs have helped them to choose the clubs. So right after 8th grade, my older son did international relations and international relations topic related some summer program at John Hopkins. That helped him to get into Model UN, which helped him to progress in Model UN, and he even got into the international travel team of the there is an international travel team for Model UN. He got into that, and he got a small mini grant and went to Portugal to compete. So these are the things, so we are literally building your child's profile from the summer after 8th grade towards 12th grade. Likewise, my younger son, he was very interested in programming. He was self-studying Python in middle school, and he wanted to create apps, so he was self-studying Swift. We went ahead and put him in John Hopkins Python data structure and algorithm class. When he came back, he had learned so much. He started to compete in USA Computing Olympiad. So he reached till the gold level by 11th grade. And it also helped him to go to the next year's summer program. So after that, right after 11th grade, he did a summer program at UPenn called MNTSI by the Jerome Fisher Institute. So there, he actually worked with kids to create a project where they created a pill dispenser which can be operated in such a way that, in old age homes, sometimes when old people are taking their pills, they make mistakes. So this pill dispenser was helpful to make sure that they have the correct dosage, the correct pill at the correct time. So he did a project like that. He also did a passion project in the summer of 11th grade, which was all an inspiration from all the classes and the summer programs that he had done previously. So that's why they are important. Kids can also spend summers by volunteering. A lot of kids do shadowing of business people, shadowing of doctors, shadowing in a hospital, volunteering in nonprofit organizations. Those are all very good things to do. Also research programs. If you are able to find a professor from 9th grade onwards, summer of 9th grade, if you find a professor and they are ready to mentor your child throughout high school for, through their lab, that's a wonderful thing to have in your resume. Then there is Olympiad preparations. There are different kinds of Olympiads. So where are the Olympiads? Yeah, so there is Math Olympiad, Science Olympiad, Chemistry Olympiad, all sorts of Olympiad. You can try any of those, but one has to prepare. So the preparation usually happens in the summer vacation. So 9th grade summer, 10th grade summer, 11th grade summer, prepare really well. By 12th grade, they will have something in their hand to show. Both my kids were very good in math. They qualified till AIME. My younger son did Chemistry Olympiad. My older son did Linguistic Olympiad. They reached till the state level. They also participated in a conference called Science and Research Conference by Harvard. So they medaled in it. So these medals were helpful when the college application was being filled up. If you see a lot of Olympiads, math competitions that the kids can do, then of course there is Intel Regeneron and Invention Convention. If your school is ready to help you with it, you can go through that. You can also do it privately. All information are in detail on their websites. Please go and check them out. So these are some of the things that you can do in high school. So this was today's session. I hope it helped you a lot. next session, I will talk about SAT, college visits, safe, target, and reach colleges, REA and EAs and EDs, all those, whatever is on the presentation, I will talk about them. I'll cover as much as possible. If needed, I will do it the week after also, depending on our time. We have only 1 hour, so depending on the time. If you have any questions, please post it on WhatsApp, and I will try to answer as much as possible, as much as I know. Thank you so much for attending this. Thank you, Priya, for organizing this. If you have any questions, I have 5-10 minutes. You can ask me. There is one. How many weeks or hours should kids work on an NGO? So it depends on how much time they have. So if you are, first of all, setting up the NGO itself is going to take some time. I'm thinking at least they should spend 4 to 5 hours a week initially, or maybe more. Let's say in the summer of 8th grade, you're trying to set up a nonprofit. So you can put more hours, maybe 10 hours a week. But then once the school starts, it is going to be very difficult to put 10 hours a week. Maybe half an hour a day, so a total of 3 hours a week, something like that. But make sure that it is a something genuine. So that is very important.